Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Mary, roll call.
Ms. Hafner? Here. Mr. Blandina?
Here.
Ms. Gagliardi?
Here.
Ms. Parker?
Here.
Ms. Picala? Ms. Siebert?
Here.
Ms. Walrab?
Here. Mr. Edwards?
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to an advance notice and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Brick Township Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be posted on the Administration Office Bulletin Board, the official district website, and channel BTP 20, and sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Brick Times, the Star Ledger, and Municipal Clerk's Office.
I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the flag salute and a moment of silence. Often it may appear to members of our audience that the Board of Education act with very little comment and in many cases a unanimous vote. Please understand that before a matter is placed on the agenda at a public meeting, the administration has thoroughly reviewed the matter with the Superintendent of Schools, discussed it in appropriate BOE committees, and only then, if the Superintendent is satisfied that the matter is ready to be presented to the full Board of Education, it is placed on the agenda for action at a public meeting. Board of Education members are given advance notice to review the agenda and, through the chair, ask questions or voice concerns. In rare instances, when necessary, matters are presented to the Board of Education for discussion at the same meeting that final action may be taken. Dr. Farrell, presentations?
We have a few presentations tonight. Ask Ms. McNamara and Ms. Walrab to come up. We have a check actually for product from Burlington Stores on their new opening to Osborneville. We'll get to our virtual.
I'm surprised. For our next presentation, we've been having our different schools and programs presenting every month so we can highlight our students and staff. This month, I believe the middle schools, correct, Ms. McNamara? The middle schools are going to present on Women's History Month and SEL, Social and Emotional Learning. Ms. McNamara?
Thank you, Dr. Farrell. The middle schools, Lake Riviera Middle School and Veterans Memorial Middle School, are pleased to produce Socially Distanced and Emotionally Together, an SEL project at the middle school with an emphasis on Women's History Month. Ross?
Good evening. I'm Jim Carr, Assistant Principal at Veterans Memorial Middle School, along with Steve Morelli, Assistant Principal at Lake Riviera Middle School. We thank you, Dr. Farrell, Ms. McNamara, Dr. Anderson, Mrs. Hanson, Mr. Cranston, Mr. Edwards, Board of Education members, and the great citizens of Brick Township for allowing us to share our virtual reflection on the importance of social-emotional learning, where we are socially distant but emotionally connected during this unique year. A typical middle school classroom includes young adolescents with a range of skills, interests, abilities, and personalities. Both Veterans Memorial Middle School and Lake Riviera Middle School have taken the philosophical approach that in order to meet the educational needs of a child, you must also simultaneously address their developmental needs as young adolescents. In other words, educate the whole child. Over the last few years, you may have heard the term SEL, which stands for Social Emotional Learning. It is the process of learning social and emotional skills, and it's just as important as learning reading or math. Social emotional skills are essential for success in school, work, and life. With SEL, students learn to be in tune with their own emotions, self-regulate their behaviors, have empathy for others, solve problems effectively, make responsible decisions, and maintain healthy relationships. The first core competency of SEL is self-awareness. Students learn to identify others' emotions and perspectives, which helps them empathize and show compassion no matter who they are or what their background is. Students learn that self-awareness is about accurately recognizing one's emotions and thoughts and how that influences their behaviors. This includes accurately assessing one's strengths and limitations and possessing a well-grounded sense of confidence and optimism. It is not difficult to imagine how important this is in the classroom and in life.
Hi, my name is Natalia, and here from Vets, and here at Vets we're kind to everybody.
Hi, I'm Joey, and I look forward to coming to school every day because my teachers encourage me to do my best.
Today's question is, would you rather be the best player on a losing team or be the worst player on a winning team? So Kira, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if it's the best player on the team, is it the most athletic player on the team, like being like the best at like whatever they're doing on the team, or can it be the best player to a point where they use their knowledge of the other players and put that to their advantage to a point where you can switch them to be a losing team to be a better team?
Aha! So Kira, you're like right to my heart, right to my heart.
Another core competency of SEL is self-management. Students learn to recognize what's happening inside of them and be aware of their feelings, which helps them deal with strong emotions and impulsive behaviors. It helps them stop, take a breath, and think about a situation before acting. Students learn to effectively regulate one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in different situations. This includes managing stress, controlling impulses, motivating oneself, and setting and working toward achieving personal and academic goals.
My name is Olivia Hobbs, and I go to VMMS, and I'm in 8th grade. And in January, we had to make resolution scrolls, and this is some of my resolutions. Getting straight A's, staying organized, and not eating a lot of junk food. But my main resolution was getting straight A's, and my plan for that was to study a lot.
SEL also focuses on responsible decision-making. Students are more likely to meet with success in their everyday lives if they learn to make responsible decisions that will determine desired outcomes. Students learn to make constructive and respectful choices about personal behavior and social interactions based on consideration of ethical standards, safety concerns, social norms, and the well-being of self and others.
Hi, I'm Chris McWade, and I'm the president of Student Council. Next year, I'm striving to do all honors classes and eventually be an astronaut.
I'm able to figure out why I did something wrong from thinking outside of the box and seeing it from another angle. I know that when we start a project, that we have to come up with a plan. In life, that's very useful because you'll have an idea for what you want to accomplish and how you're going to do it.
One of the most prevalent core competencies of SEL is relationship skills. Students learn to solve problems in peaceful ways and communicate assertively about what they need or want. This helps them get along with other students and get the help they need from adults. Students learn to establish and maintain healthy and rewarding relationships with diverse individuals and groups. This includes communicating clearly, listening actively, cooperating, resisting inappropriate social pressure, negotiating conflict constructively, and seeking and offering help when needed. The final core competency is social awareness. Students learn to take the perspective of and empathize with others from diverse backgrounds and cultures, to understand social and ethical norms for behavior, and to recognize family, school, and community resources and supports. Greater social awareness, particularly surrounding characteristics like gender, race, religion, age, culture, class, and financial circumstances, will ensure that their ability to make decisions in social settings like school take diversity into account.
In the last week of the club, we worked on coming up with ideas for a bulletin board to be made in the school for Women's History Month, which combined both language arts and math. In the language arts proportion, we had to find different influential women in the U.S. and give information why they were so important. And in math, we had to come up with some supplies that would be bought and figure out dimensions of the bulletin board.
We watched last week, remember we watched Hidden Figures? So when we finished the movie, I finished it with the other class, and I got to talk to them about their final thoughts. And we learned about the stories of these three great women, and they all were very different, but also had some great similarities. And either way, I think we can all agree that each of their stories were pretty inspiring. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and what I wanted to get from you guys is, which women's story from the movie did you find the most inspiring? A response here. Catherine Johnson seems to have been the most inspiring. Is there anyone that wants to share why they chose Catherine Johnson?
She worked very hard and she didn't give up on what she really wanted.
Ooh, she worked hard and didn't give up, Paul. I love that. There's a word for that. We call that perseverance. I agree, Paul. She was...
And resilience.
And resilience. Absolutely. She had perseverance and resilience, two of our Laker qualities. That's incredible. Thank you, Paul.
Students who embrace the core competencies of SEL do better academically, have improved attitudes and behaviors, and act in disruptive ways less often. In the United States, students with strong social-emotional competence are twice as likely to earn a college degree and 50% more likely to have a full-time job by the age of 24. Just as important, students who are socially and emotionally competent have more friends, which means are more likely to feel connected to their school and do well and less likely to be left out. Simply put, by embracing social-emotional learning, students learn the skills to succeed in every facet of school and the rest of their lives.
Or can I move to the next?
I do want to comment on the social and emotional learning because, you know, many people that teach social and emotional learning have always said there's three things in school we always remember, the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. Now it's, you know, it's respect, responsibility, and righteousness. And these are things that we're ingraining in our day-to-day curriculum. And it's more important than ever right now. It kind of teaches our kids that altruistic approach to giving back to others and helping others. And we see that during this pandemic. We've seen it in our own community. So, and you see this from our middle schoolers. So fantastic job to our middle schoolers.
The next presentation that we're going to make, I'm going to ask Ms. McNamara to lead us off on that.
Thank you, Mrs. Walrab. Good evening. I'm Susan McNamara, the Director of Planning, Research, and Evaluation for the Brick Township Public Schools. It's been a year. And Dr. Farrell, we all want you to know how much we appreciate you. Leadership is active and a living process. It is rooted in character, forged by experience, and communicated by example. From the moment you were appointed the superintendent of the Brick Township Public Schools in January of 2020, you have lived these words, and all of us are very grateful. As you began your journey in Brick, you modeled relationship building from the very start, attending the many district events before you even set foot on the district ground on March 2nd. Day one, you hit the ground running, the ribbon cutting for the launch of the partnership, and rolled right into the district art show, participating in Read Across America, and visiting many of our schools for their evening events. And then on March 13th, our buildings closed, but our schools did not. You taught us how to fly the plane while building as we navigated these unprecedented times and transitioned to remote learning in an instant. Each and every one of us came together as a team under your leadership and created a path to the now normal, with health and safety as our focus for our students, staff, parents, and community. As we continue this journey of navigating these unprecedented times, we just wanted to say thank you and congratulations on your first year as superintendent of the Brick Township Public Schools. We hope you enjoy this commemorative video. Thank you.
behalf of the entire Brick Memorial High School community, congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on completing your first year as superintendent of Brick Township Public Schools. We certainly couldn't have done it without you making it through this most difficult first year of your tenure. Here's to many more years in Brick Township Public Schools.
Hello, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations on your 1 year here in Brick Township. From our whole Mustang community, we want to thank you for your leadership, your guidance, and always being a good listener. And we hope that you're here for many, many more years to come.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Thank you for all your leadership this year.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Thank you for being such a great leader the past year.
All right, happy anniversary to Dr. Farrell for your 1 year in Brick School District. Thank you for your leadership and getting us through one of the most difficult years that we've really ever had. But, with you steering the wheel, we're all in good shape and we're looking forward to what the future holds. Thanks.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on your 1 year anniversary with Brick Township Schools.
Congratulations to Dr. Farrell on being our superintendent for 1 year. Great job, Dr. Farrell. Keep it going.
Hey, Dr. Farrell, congratulations. 1 year. Woo!
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on your first year. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Looking forward to the future.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Happy anniversary. Thank you for all that you do for our students and the staff. We love you.
Happy anniversary, Dr. Farrell from Brick Township High School.
Thanks for sticking with us this year.
Thank you for your leadership.
Once a dragon, always a dragon.
What a year to be the superintendent. We are happy to have you.
Thank you for keeping us safe.
Thank you for steering the ship through the storm.
Thank you for the support and understanding and always having words of encouragement for us.
As a parent in the district, thank you for keeping parents in the loop.
Thank you for putting Brick kids first.
And Dr. Farrell, thank you for all your support with our athletic programs. Much appreciated.
Congratulations from the main office at Brick Township High School.
Being together more soon in 2021.
You're number one.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. If you can take a look, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Thanks for everything you do for us, Doc.
Thanks, Dr. Farrell.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell.
Happy anniversary, Dr. Farrell. We love you. Thank you, Dr. Farrell. Thank you, Dr. Farrell.
Dr. Farrell, we just wanted to say thank you for leading us through very difficult times in this last year. Happy 1 year anniversary.
Thank you.
Congrats on 1 year, Dr. Farrell. Thank you for supporting the VMMS Guidance Department.
Thank you. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Happy anniversary.
Hey, Dr. Farrell, I'm here with some of my friends. Just want to congratulate you on your first year as superintendent of Brick Schools. Great job, good luck, and we wish you all the best, and thank you so much. Great job, great job.
Congratulations!
Happy anniversary, Dr. Farrell. 1 year of leadership. Everybody here at Veterans Memorial Middle School greatly appreciates it. Our students are sharing with you some ideas as to what leadership means to them. And we all say thank you. Happy anniversary.
We know it's been a very challenging year and you've put in a lot of hard work.
But you have set precedents every step of the way.
Congratulations! Woo! Congratulations!
On behalf of all of the students and staff at Drum Point Road Elementary School, we would like to thank you for a year of strong leadership during such unprecedented challenges. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for keeping our schools open. Thank you, Dr. Farrell. Thank you for bringing us back to school. Happy anniversary, Dr. Farrell. Thank you, Dr. Farrell. Thank you, Dr. Farrell. We love
Hello everyone, Dave Cajun, Principal, Emma Havens Young Elementary School. Great to be here with you right now and wish Dr. Farrell well as we congratulate him on his 1-year anniversary. Dr. Farrell, we're so lucky to have you at the leadership helm, leading us through these difficult, trying times. Again, that task is never easy and you're doing a phenomenal job. So thank you on behalf of everyone here at Emma Havens. And I have a few friends here that would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell, for being a great leader. Congratulations on 1 year. Congratulations. Way to go. Everyone at Emma Havens wants to say thank you to you.
Dr. Farrell, as you can see, we're very lucky and fortunate to have you here being our superintendent. And on behalf of Emma Havens, all our students, staff, thank you again for all that you do every day, keeping us safe and making it a great experience here at Emma Havens.
Can you believe it's already been a year? Thank you so much for being our superintendent this past year. We appreciate your leadership and vision for all the schools. On behalf of the EHY PTA, happy anniversary.
The greatest gift of leadership is a boss who wants you to be successful. Cheers to more years on the bill. Happy anniversary!
The mill is celebrating an anniversary.
Cheers to 1 year! Wow, we've been a year already. High five, but you're having fun. Happy anniversary! 1 year of fun and learning. Keep it coming. Happy anniversary! We are having a celebration. We want you to know you are amazing. Happy anniversary. Thank you for getting us back together. You are the best. Happy anniversary.
Congrats, Dr. Farrell.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on your 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on 1 year.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on a year in our district now.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on your 1-year anniversary. I hope you enjoyed this video of all the midstream staff and students and extending their well wishes.
A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Thank you for being our leader, Dr. Farrell.
I'm Lucy from Osmondville, and we asked students what Dr. Farrell's most important job is. Check the teacher. I think they should check the kids to bring flowers for all the teachers. Keeping all the schools safe. Making sure all the other principals are good bosses for the school.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on your 1-year anniversary here in Brick. We appreciate all the support you've given us throughout the way.
Happy first anniversary, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Thank you, Dr. Farrell.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell.
Happy anniversary.
Congratulations.
We love having you in Brick. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell.
Congratulations, Dr.
Farrell.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell. On behalf of Osborneville, thank you so much for all of your guidance and leadership during this interesting year.
Happy 1-year anniversary, Dr. Farrell.
Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Blessing and I'm the principal of Veterans Memorial Elementary School. Dr. Farrell, on behalf of everyone here at VMES, we want to congratulate you on your 1-year tenure as superintendent of the Brick Township Public Schools. Thanks for everything that you do for us.
Hello, I'm David Custer, the assistant principal here at VMES. Dr. Farrell, thank you so much for all of your hard work and dedication to our district and all of your support for the educational needs of our students and the support of our staff and families. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell.
On giving for your kindness, I live debt to you.
On behalf of the entire Veterans Memorial Elementary School PTA, happy anniversary, Dr. Farrell. I guess your first year is one you'll never forget, huh? It's been quite a year, and you've handled it amazing. Thank you so much for all you do for the children of Brick Township Public Schools. Happy anniversary. Let's hope the second year is not quite as eventful.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on one amazing year. Very challenges, but you rose to all the occasion. Our littlest learners at Herbertsville Preschool are happy to congratulate you.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell.
Hi, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations on your first year in Brick Schools. We're so lucky to have you, and we just want to say congratulations. So are you ready, pre-K?
Yes. Dr. Farrell, Dr. Farrell, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell.
Hello, Dr. Farrell. Herbie the Star, along with the staff, students, and PTA want to wish you a happy first Brickversary. We know this year was a challenging one, but you pulled us through like a shining star. Thank you for all you have done. Love, the staff, students, and PTA of Herbertsville Preschool.
Happy 1 year.
Anniversary, Dr. Farrell.
Thank you for keeping us going during an unusual time.
Thank you for
and your commitment to this district. Thank you for
being Brick strong through this
unprecedented times. We look forward to
your continued leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell.
Wait, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell. Thank you, Dr. Farrell. Thank you, Dr. Farrell.
Hey, Dr. Farrell, this is all your friends from the business office. Just wanted to say congratulations on your first full year of service with the Brick Township Board of Education.
hard for us to believe that you're the first superintendent in probably the past 13 that made it through a full year.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr.
Farrell.
Happy first year work anniversary. What a year. We can only get better.
It's been great having your leadership and support,
We appreciate all your leadership, motivation, and energy.
Which helped us all move forward, stay productive, and most importantly, to remain positive.
Congratulations on your work anniversary. The central office team appreciates your energy, leadership, and all you do for Brick Township Public Schools. And most of all,
We appreciate you. Happy first year work anniversary. Go Brick!
Congratulations on 1 year. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, on your 1 year anniversary. Dr. Farrell, congratulations on your 1 year here. Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Dr. Farrell.
Congratulations, happy anniversary.
Mr. Farrell, 1 year anniversary, I'd like to wish you lots of luck.
Congratulations, and I hope you have many more years here.
Dr. Farrell, I just want to say happy anniversary, 1 year with us in this district, and I hope many more.
Dr. Farrell, congratulations on your 1 year anniversary as superintendent. Thank you for your leadership and guidance over the past 12 months. We look forward to many more years under your guidance.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Love HR.
Hello, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary with Brick Township Public Schools. Thank you for all of your support of our special education programs and students, and we are excited to have you stick around for many years to come.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, as we celebrate your 1 year anniversary in Brick Township Public School District. Thank you for your continued support and leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell. 1 year is a long time.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell, for your leadership and dedication to Brick Township.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell, from Mrs. Cooper's Language Arts and Social Studies class at Lake Riv.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farrell. We really appreciate your strong leadership.
Happy anniversary. You're doing a great job.
Hey, Dr. Farrell, the BEST program would like to wish you a happy 1-year anniversary from all of us.
Thank you for everything you've done this year.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Farrell. We just wanted to say congratulations on your first year at Brick Schools. We appreciate all you do for us and your hard work.
Your passion and dedication does not go unnoticed. We appreciate everything you do to keep us safe.
Thank you.
Happy 1 year, Dr. Farrell. Thank you.
Amazing, Dr. Farrell. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell. Thank you for all you do from Emma Haven's Best.
Hi, Dr. Farrell. Congratulations on 1 year from the Drum Point kids.
Hey, Dr. Farrell, thanks for a strong first year and navigating this district through a tough time in our history.
We'd like to thank you for your leadership and support. With your guidance, we've been able to do a tremendous amount of things for the students, staff, and families of Brick Township. Congratulations.
As Henry Ford once said,
coming together is the beginning.
Keeping together is progress.
Working together is success.
Congratulations, Dr. Farrell.
Thanks for your leadership this past year. The creativity, perseverance, and dedication of this entire team to come together during this challenging and unprecedented time is inspirational, awe-inspiring, and a tribute to you, Dr. Farrell. Moving an operation as big and diverse as the Brick Township Public Schools from brick and mortar to virtual in a matter of days took collaboration, trust, and pure grit. An enormous effort like this must be guided and communicated through an inspirational leader in order for it to move forward and find success. We are very fortunate in the Brick Township Public Schools to have you as our district superintendent. You have put us all in the right seat, moving in the right direction while building the plane we are flying to meet the challenges. I, along with the entire Brick Township Public Schools team, are grateful to have you at the helm. Here's to many more years as a team together. Happy anniversary.
We're going to give you a couple minutes to compose yourself because I got to tell you, I was crying and laughing and all my emotions were going and it wasn't about me. So, I just want to thank Ms. McNamara for putting this all together. Wonderful job. I would like to comment to the IT department. You were the only one we really heard the whole way, no issues. I don't know, something fishy there. Jim, exactly what I expected. You know, if there is anybody that questions how big Brick Township is after this video, question answered. It should be clear. You know, we're quite the big organization, and it is quite clear that we are all so pleased that you're here with us. It's been a rough year, and you know, we are Brick Strong, and we would have made it through, but you made it easier, more enjoyable, more positive. We've learned, we've laughed, we've stressed, we've cried, we've gotten scared together, but we made it through together, and you know, we have an incredible team here, but you kept us together through your leadership, through your commitment, through your positive energy, and we're all better for you being here, Dr. Farrell. You make us better. And speaking for myself, you've made me a better board member. I've learned so much from you, and I can't even begin to thank you and tell you what you truly do mean to all of us here, and I think that was pretty clear. So as a board, when we were talking about this, you know, trying to think at how do we get on this, well, you can't do more than 3 people or it's a quorum. You can't have a conference call or it's a quorum. So we decided we were going to present you something here today instead. And so we got some things here that I'm going to present to you on behalf of the Board of Education. So Dr. Farrell, on behalf of the board, let me say thank you for your steady hand this past year. Our board cannot be more pleased with the leadership, transparency, and spirit you have brought to the district. We are excited to build on this foundation and continue our growth and learning. Let's make a difference, work, learn, and serve somewhere awesome. Dr. Farrell, please accept this token of our appreciation and continuing Brick Township School District to awesome. Dr. Farrell, you know, because we just couldn't decide what we liked better, we've, you got a couple, we got you a couple. Basically, make a difference, work somewhere else. Brick Schools Superintendent.
I have a pandemic size and a summertime. That's good thinking.
So as I was texting around to the different board members, we all decided that serve someplace awesome. Oh, so again, thank you, Dr. Farrell. We hope you enjoy our we truly mean it. You're the best. And this is to many, many more years together. We love you. Oh, here you go. That works with, I mean, you know, it works with all the...
I'm floored. Yeah. I'm never speechless. I asked Jim if I'm being forced to retire. I think,
we had your wife here for support.
You know, I came into the meeting room and my wife was here, and I said, "What's going on? Is something wrong with Coach Sainer?" Or because a friend of ours had a procedure today. I was all nervous. She goes, "Would you relax? It's a good thing." And I really did not know. So I thank you. I do hope we do this in 10 years. The next time we do it. I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one. This team and the talent in this district. You know, sometimes you know there's a sense of belonging. I belong here at this time, at Brick, at this place, with this team, and it just feels right. So I really am the lucky one. And it's not over the struggle we have to get through. And I'm not going anywhere, so nobody's forcing me to retire. So I hope we do this in 10, 15 years, a lot bigger, and have a lot more fun. But thank you, amazing, you guys, even keeping that from me. This board, everybody is just so awesome and supportive during the toughest time. I feel like a small cog in this wheel, and when I see that kind of support, I need to remind everybody that it's never one person, right? We all know that it's never one person. But all of us together, gosh, just the pride and the positive vibe that can go on even through tough times. My heart, I thank you.
Okay, back to work. I need a motion and a second for approval of minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Michael,
Yeah.
second. I have board comment. Mary?
Ms. Hafner? Yes. Mr. Blandina?
Yes.
Ms. Gagliardi?
Yes.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Pacala?
Yes.
Ms. Siebert?
Yes.
Ms. Walrow?
Yes. Dr. Farrell, superintendent comments?
Thank you, Ms. Walrath. I'll take my mask off because I know last month or the month before, some people had a hard time hearing me. Last week, actually, another day, another #1 ranking in education, this time from U.S. News and World Report for New Jersey. Last week it was announced New Jersey's education system is the best in the nation. Garden State has the country's top education system according to this ranking and is also #1 in preschool enrollment. The high rankings follow Education Week's recognition that for the second year in a row, New Jersey's public schools were the best in America. New Jersey School Board's executive director stated, staff, students, parents, and board members can take great pride in this prestigious ranking. I am biased, but here at Brick, we have the best teachers. But congratulations to everyone and anyone who works with our public school children in any way. One reason why I believe New Jersey's ranked #1 is that we're not satisfied and we're committed to continuous growth and improvement. Thank you again to Burlington Stores and Adopt a Classroom. Burlington Stores, the national off-price retailer, through its partnership with the national nonprofit organization adoptaclassroom.org, has donated $5,000 in product towards school supplies to Osborneville Elementary School in celebration of its new store now in Brick Plaza. So I could give you a plug, I'm sure, as a community store located right in Brick Plaza. Thank you, Burlington Stores and Adopt a Classroom, for your generous, very generous donation. Shamrock's Shamagram Day from Ocean Medical Center in Brick this past Monday, right? We wore our green, my Shamrock socks. Monday, Ocean Medical Center at Brick Hospital and our local healthcare heroes visited our schools to deliver Shamrock's Shamograms as a thank you to our students for sending all the Valentine's Day cards. Hospital President, Mr. Kretner, Vice President of Nursing, Marie Foley-Daniker, and Chief of Staff, Dr. Weinkoop, came to Veterans Memorial Elementary School to present the Shamrocks and say thanks to some of our students and Principal, Mr. Ryan Blessing. Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for working with our partners at Ocean Medical Center to coordinate this wonderful event. 2021-2022 budget. And tonight we'll be approving our tentative budget. As I stated at last month's board meeting, our budget's very simple in that we don't have much control over revenue sources. Our revenue can only go up about $2 million with the mandated 2% tax levy cap. As we plan the budget for the 21-22 school year, the additional loss of aid is $5.3 million. This loss of aid is cumulative, as we all know, and now the total loss of state aid is up to $15 million through the S2 funding cliff. This year, though, additional federal revenue sources and increased surplus this coming budget cycle has helped somewhat so that the budget cuts are not as dire as the previous years. As I stated last year around this time, the district has been faced with a series of cuts to bridge the gap with the loss of aid. For the coming budget cycle, we anticipate another year with loss of positions. However, similar to last year, it's our hope that retirement attrition will play an integral part in minimizing jobs loss. So tonight we have a resolution to approve the tentative 21-22 budget. The filing deadline for the tentative budget to the Executive County Superintendent is tomorrow, March 19th. The public hearing on the 21-22 budget with its adoption is scheduled for April 29th, and the user-friendly budget should be posted to the district website the following day. The final deadline for the adoption of the budget is May 14th. Phase 3 start. I made the announcement actually today, and I know at last month's Board of Education public meeting, I communicated that Phase 2, our 4 days per week, would commence. And as of today, all students are presently in 4 days per week if they choose. This week, pre-K, special ed, MD, BD, autistic, LLD have been afforded a jump start on Phase 3, 5 days per week at the elementary level. Additionally, at the middle school level, special ed, MD, BD, autistic programs also started 5 days per week as well. We announced today that Phase 3, 5 days per week early dismissal for our elementary level, grades K to 5, will commence on Monday, April 12th, 2021, that week after spring break, when we return. At that time, our elementary students will move to 5 days per week in person, early dismissal schedule if they choose, or remain on virtual instruction. As was the case previously, this announcement will provide time for parents, students, and staff to prepare for the transition, or for virtual Team 3V students to return to in-person instruction. As has been our iterative approach of stage, monitor, and assess each phase, after monitoring the initial Phase 3 with elementary students, it is our hope that middle school and high schools will begin Phase 3 a few weeks later. Please continue to be diligent with practicing CDC recommended protocols. We want to keep moving forward. Also, please continue to watch for any updated communication. Ocean County's COVID-19 numbers are declining, although our region, made up of 4 counties, is still considered high risk at this point. And vaccines distribution and supply, as we all know, is still very low in our county. Again, please remain vigilant and keep children home if they are sick or exhibit any related symptoms of COVID-19, or if anyone in the household shows symptoms or is waiting on test results. Also, please understand that quarantines are non-negotiable, as we follow the specific guidelines from our New Jersey State Department of Health and with consultation from our local Ocean County Health Department. Please understand this, as this guidance is for health, safety, and protections of our students and staff. Since the governor has placed K-12 educators and support staff as a priority to receive vaccines as of March 15th, the district has been working with the local Ocean County Health Department, Ocean Medical Center, Brick Hospital, and our self-insured partnership, Integrity Health, to facilitate a pathway for our staff who so choose to be vaccinated. We are hopeful that a majority of this group will be able to receive their first vaccination very shortly, and even have an appointment for their second vaccination by the time we return from spring recess. Our partnership with Ocean Medical Center, Brick Hospital, has been just fantastic. And I want to personally thank Mr. Jason Kretner of Ocean Medical Center for facilitating this. Just to end a little bit, Harry S. Truman said, "It's amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit." This is so true right now in Brick and at Brick schools, if you just look around. All stakeholders have helped the district weather this storm to come out stronger and more united with a laser focus on supporting our students first. The recent Asbury Park Press article exemplified our Board of Education, staff, and parents' unwavering support, student voices, as well as the community involvement during this crisis. I want to thank Ms. Walrab and our Board of Education's cohesive leadership at this time, and our amazing community for being so supportive. I feel like we're in the fourth quarter and finally making some strides and moving forward. albeit at a cautious pace. Thank you.
Let's start with facilities and finance. Mr. Edwards?
Thank you, Ms. Walrab. So I'll start with facilities. Facilities Committee met on March 11th at 1 p.m. Attendants were Ms. Bacala, Ms. Walrab, Mr. Blandina, Dr. Farrell, myself, Ms. McNamara, Mr. Yor from Netta Architects, Mr. Siegel from Sweezel Architects, and Mr. Pecora. First item of business was the 2019-20 capital project of the Brick Township High School and Veterans Memorial Elementary School auditorium HVAC systems, which are still in litigation. I informed the committee that there is nothing new to report, as the board attorney is still in the interrogatory stage. 2020-21 capital project budget, Brick Township High School roof area 5. Mr. Pecora informed the committee that roof 5's front barrel wall panels and final metal work is complete, and the lettering is the final item, which is scheduled for March 12th, which was last week. The non-ESIP supported roof projects, Brick High roof areas 4A, 11, 12, 14, and 20. Osborneville roof areas 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11, and Herbertsville's roof areas B, H, and the annex, and the transportation roof area A. Mr. Pecora informed the committee that with the advent of the better weather, the roof scans are being scheduled and will begin the week of March 15th. The solar panel power purchase agreement, I informed the committee that the Brightcore, the awarded vendor, is still working on a solution for the 900,000 kilowatt shortcomings in the solar generation caused by the limitation of Brick Township High School's proposed systems based upon the BPU's designation of it as an interconnected add-on system. They're looking at ways they can make up to 900,000 kilowatts through other avenues, such as other solar systems on other roofs or carport systems. They had taken a look at the Brick Memorial High School system, but it was decided that that system wouldn't be feasible at this time because the district is still selling SRECs on that system, being that it's owned by Brick Township Board of Education. Energy Savings Improvement Plan. I informed the committee that the overall Energy Savings Improvement Plan is still moving forward. DCO, the vendor, is waiting for third-party verification reports from DLB. Once these reports are returned and indicate certification by DLB, it would be submitted to the BPU for approval, followed by addition to the board agenda, possibly at the April 29th meeting, at which time it will be up for board approval, which would encompass the energy savings plan, the financing plan, and the implementation agreement with DCO. Capital projects budgets for 2021-22. Lanes Mill Elementary School parking lots improvement. I informed the committee that the date has been set for the week of the 15th to begin the design phase with CME, the vendor, the engineer who was awarded the project, at which time the project will begin taking shape and reflecting the specific needs for the school. Other capital projects for 2021-22. Informed the committee that its hopes of maintaining a consistent yearly district improvement plan. Besides the Veterans Elementary School roof, we are also looking at Brick Memorial High School penthouse C&D mechanical room renovations, which focus on air handling units, tasked with the heating and cooling of fresh air supply. Brick Township High School's weight room RTU, which is in a failing state. Unit ventilator replacement and upgrades at Emma Havens Young Elementary School, Lanes Mill Elementary School, and Midstreams Elementary School. Lake Riviera Middle School's boiler plant replacement, Vets Complex turf replacement, and other HVAC projects to better enhance the indoor air quality of our facilities. And finally, Mr. Pecora informed the committee that there is nothing new to report on the Veterans Memorial Middle School boiler violation, and there has been no contact from the state in regards to our request for review and appeal. Next is the finance, which occurred at 2 o'clock, same day, March 11th. Ms. Scagliardi, Ms. Walrab, Mr. Blandina, Dr. Farrell, and myself. The school funding litigation update. Informed the committee that we still have not heard anything from the appellate division in regards to our appeal on the judge's decision and the commissioner's certification of the state aid litigation lawsuit. In regards to the Oprah litigation, we have not heard anything in regards from the NJDOE on the legal fee reimbursement, so that matter may have to end up in court as well. 2021-22 budget. Dr. Farrell spoke about this already, so I'll probably just repeat some of the similar things. All the program manager meetings have concluded. State aid was reduced by $5.3 million, which is $100,000 higher than we expected due to enrollment decline. We have a 2% increase, which is mandated under S2, and we did generate surplus from 2019-20, which will help offset offset the state aid in addition to the federal aid that we received, as Dr. Farrell indicated earlier. I indicated that the 21-22 tentative budget will be on the 18th agenda for the board for approval, so we can submit to the county office for review on the 19th. New Jersey Natural Gas, I informed the committee that nothing has been received from the Commissioner of Education in regards to the filing of a declaratory ruling over the Iran disclosure form dispute. Financial software integrated with human resources and payroll. I informed the committee that the RFP for the competitive contract has been advertised with responses due back on March 30th. Indicated that competitive contract will then begin to review the responses to complete scoring in April so that a recommendation can be placed on the April 29th board agenda. NJDEP fuel tank violations. I informed the committee that a response has finally been received in regards to the appeal hearing request. The matter has been referred to the Office of Administrative Law. We now wait to our hearing date, but in the meantime, the attorney for the board is going to attempt to reach a settlement with NJDEP now that it's been referred. RFPs upcoming. I informed the committee that the following RFPs have an expiration of June 30th, 2021, and therefore new 3-year RFPs will be posted on the website in the near future for vendor responses. Behavioral consulting services, legal counsel services, the board attorney, school physician, financial advisor, and bond counsel. Green Cove Marina sign lease. I informed the committee that Green Cove Marina would like to renew their sign lease at the warehouse property. The committee concurred that the agreement should be placed on the agenda for the full board, which it is on this evening's agenda. Veterans Memorial Middle School plotter purchase for the library. Mr. Edwards discussed, I discussed, talking about myself in third person, sorry. That Mr. Edwards.
Surprise, Jim.
Discussed the transfer of the committee that Veterans Memorial Middle School was looking to do for a purchase of a plotter at the library. We discussed that there's already one here in the print shop, and that Mr. Bayo was going to reach out to the middle school to find out why they felt they needed their own device. Brick Township High School and Brick Memorial requested a transfer for wrestling mat cleaner for what's called a sterilizer for use in mat cleaning per the COVID-19 protocols, and the committee concurred that that transfer should occur. And finally, Brick Township High School has requested a transfer of funds to purchase a tuba, and the committee concurred that that transfer should occur. And Mr. Edwards said that's the end of his report.
Okay.
Comedian in person.
Ms. McNamara, policy?
Have a policy.
Okay, that's fine. Dr. Anderson, C&I?
Thank you, Mrs. Walrav. The C&I committee met on March 11th at 3:30. In attendance were the chairperson, Ms. Gagliardi, Ms. Pacala, Ms. Parker, Ms. Beatty, Ms. McNamara, Dr. Farrell, and myself. I reviewed the items on the agenda. Under training and travel, we reviewed the workshops on the agenda for approval tonight. There are also 2 grants. It's Book O'Clock and As the Page Turns to enhance the school libraries at Warren H. Wolf and Herbertsville Early Childhood Development Centers. Next, Ms. McNamara provided a technology update as follows. We are automating processes for internal approval to improve workflow and efficiency while reducing contact and paper use. Ms. McNamara also provided an update regarding state testing. It's been postponed from March 15th to April 5th. There's a great deal of work that occurs behind the scenes. Elementary and middle schools need to have Genesis updated with personalized needs profiles that are uploaded into Pearson, the testing platform. Schedules are set for elementary school and middle school testing to take place in a 4-day window per grade level for math, ELA, and science at grades 5 and 8. High school schedules are set to test first semester and second semester students in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, or Geometry, ELA grade 9, and Science grade 11. Ms. McNamara shared an update regarding registration. The entire process is online, so we have eliminated, for the most part, touch, and it's more efficient, and we've reduced paper use. Preschool lottery enrollment opened on March 8th with 90 registrants. On our grade kindergarten registration for the 21-22 school year will begin on March 15th. Marquees were updated, district website announcement was made, and Blackboard is to go out along with a media release. Next, Ms. McNamara indicated that 3V students are returning to 4-day-a-week in-person instruction or receiving district devices. The devices are registered with GoGuardian, which offers a safeguard for online activity. An inventory is maintained, and we are collecting data regarding our breakage. In terms of infrastructure, Ms. McNamara indicated that K-8 teachers received new devices, and Tech Department has begun the process of issuing new devices to teachers in grades 9 to 12, and high school teachers and preschool teachers' device switch will be completed over the summer. Ms. McNamara explained that the Tech Department is rerouting the information flow to improve the experience for the end user and to improve security. And as far as security goes, the Tech Department has engaged in the following Phase 1 activities: creating a protocol for backing up servers so that we have a different architecture which protects our backup, and then we back up those changes. There's a Malwarebytes upgrade. Higher level of protocol is now used for logging into district servers. Our firewall has been ramped up to provide protection at each level. And in Phase 2, which will begin in the summer of 21, the Tech Department will create a data center with its own interface and own rules, password process, and incident response and disaster recovery document. So that was it for technology, but that was a lot, right?
Long one.
I know. We've been very busy, our tech department, as you can see in our video.
Yeah, they were
right?
Great.
Amazing. Miss Amanda Beatty provided a presentation on our iReady pilot, strengthening our G&T program through the Education Act, and our hydroponics update. Miss Beatty shared the update on iReady, and it was so well received that the committee decided that she should present it in April at a board meeting. So I won't go into much detail other than to say the teachers really did a lovely job implementing the pilot, and we have some positive feedback from both teachers and students about that program. She also shared some wonderful pictures about our hydroponic and aquaponic systems. And like I said, it'll be in April. We also discussed our SEL goal, our district goal on cultural responsiveness. And I provided an update regarding activities aligned to the district goal. We had a new teacher induction on February 25th, and the topic was culturally responsive pedagogy. On March 26th, we will be celebrating International SEL Day. And on that day, we'll have district-wide professional development for the staff on culturally responsive practices. The C&I department has pushed out both a virtual library and a calming room and a rest and recharge choice board for students. And our school leaders will be pushing out an SEL-themed s'mores newsletter to the parent community to highlight all the SEL initiatives that are going on in each school. We also talked about the data analysis that the C&I department was doing with our grade level teachers in terms of our Lincoln benchmark math and ELA assessments. And the teachers were looking at how they can use Navigator reports to analyze student progress toward the standards. In March is Women in History Month, and I reported that Mrs. Bucco and Mr. Cutts provided teacher resources to recognize Women in History Month. These resources include digital bookshelves, Flipgrids, and virtual field trips, and we've been tweeting out messages too. In terms of engaging the community, we did have Read Across America Day. We kicked off the month. March is National Reading Month, and I shared pictures that were captured from Read Across America Day. This year, we had guest readers like Mayor Ducey and members of the Elks Club, as well as Dr. Farrell and our board members record read-alouds, and those were compiled into a virtual bookshelf, so students will have access to these recordings all month long. I want to thank everybody who participated. And we also have in March Youth Art Month. And so we had our District Arts Festival, which was virtual. And I want to just congratulate Ms. Lane and the whole Visual and Performing Arts Department for creating an amazing website in celebration of this month. We are so happy with the participation of our community for our 10-day photo challenge. And we are now featuring a different school and program each day for the remainder of the month on Twitter. Please take a look if you haven't seen it. It is literally a work of art. It is just amazing. So please take a look. The link is posted on our website, and we're just so proud of all of our programs and just so grateful.
Wonderful. Ms. Hanson, special education.
Good evening, everyone. We had our special education committee meeting on March 16th. In attendance were Mrs. Woolrab, Mrs. Pacala, Mrs. Siebert, Dr. Farrell, and myself. First we discussed the new hires on our board agenda. We have some teacher aides on the agenda tonight to be hired. Those are due to retirements, resignations, and some newly classified students with IEP needs, as well as some students who have moved into the district with existing IEP needs that we are required to address. We discussed the addition of a PE teacher to the special education budget for adaptive PE to address special education needs and IEPs, and the possibility of this staff being added to the special education budget. We also discussed some training that we're designing to be offered to existing PE teachers over the summer months for anyone who would like to join in. The preschool budget for the 2021-2022 school year is on the agenda tonight. It's been completed and it's on the agenda for approval. We reflected a little bit on this grant and where we started with the grant during the meeting. In the 2018-19 school year, we started this grant with an initial award of $690,965, and we were educating 30 full-day preschoolers at that time. In the 2019-20 school year, we added 150 general education preschoolers to the grant, and we received an award of $1,789,760. Oops, I just minimized that by accident, sorry. During the 2021 school year, this school year, we educated 330 general education preschoolers, and our award was $4,290,330. The total award for the 2021-2022 school year, where we will be educating 384 general education preschoolers, is $5,076,864.
I know that, I know, what's the total number even with our special ed?
With our special education students, so for next school year, it will be 528 total preschoolers being educated.
Awesome.
That leaves us 144 special education spots, which is, the idea is the inclusion part of the grant. Included in this budget, just so that you understand the scope of the budget and what we're able to do with the money, we're adding 2 additional classrooms, one at Herbertsville Early Childhood Development Center and one at Warren H. Wolf. We're adding 2 additional classroom teachers, 2 additional classroom aides. We're adding a coordinator of preschool positions, which is not an administrative position. It's actually a teacher level position, but it's to assist with the management of this huge amount of money and this grant and all of the requirements that go with it. We're adding an ELL teacher to service our preschool students. We're adding a social worker to assist our preschool students, and a community liaison. We are expanding both playgrounds again. We're able to do a playground expansion at the Herbertsville site. We're going to double the size of their developmentally appropriate preschool playground and add a pour-in-place soft surface underneath. We're going to be fencing the area, completing and resurfacing the blacktop behind the gym to create a little track for tricycles and toy cars. And we are doing a playground expansion behind Warren H. Wolf, where they have the older play structure that is in a little bit of disrepair, and we're going to replace it with a brand new playground there as well, which will enable, because they're going to have a very large number of preschoolers there, 2 playground spots. We're also planning on adding a garden area to both preschools so that we can add an outdoor classroom space at each preschool. We've received word from Grow New Jersey Kids, which is a partnership that we have through the grant, that we put in a request to be reimbursed for our Tools of the Mind training that we spent money on this school year, and we've just been notified that that has been approved, so we will be receiving a refund of $100,000
Awesome.
In money that was spent on professional development that we can now spend on these projects as well. When we presented on our preschool program at the Board of Education meeting in the fall, we reviewed the amazing results, and we just wanted to revisit those during our committee meeting, that we're already seeing in the reduction of classification of students as special education students in kindergarten, as well as the higher rates of inclusion for our special education students in kindergarten classes. By increasing the number of general education students that we enroll in our free full-day preschool program each year, we're reaching more students and impacting our school community in a positive way. So we just kind of revisited that to say like where we started with the grant, where we are now, and how each year we're planning to expand this grant and to reach more preschoolers in the community. We also discussed a restructuring of the multiple disabilities program at Brick Township High School. Currently, our 9th through 12th graders are participating with our 18 to 21-year-olds. What we're planning to do is separate out those two programs, and our 9th to 12th graders will participate in a program that allows them to meet their graduation requirements while receiving their adaptive life skills infused into that curriculum. However, our 18 to 21-year-olds will be receiving transitional life skills academic block, a transitional life skills, adaptive life skills block, and they'll be working in a new space that we're designing currently, which will be a classroom space that's going to be converted into an apartment. This apartment space will have a bedroom, kitchen, living room, and laundry room where students can work on skills of daily living for 1 block per day. The other 2 blocks will be for their work-based learning periods. The students will either receive in-school or out-of-school placements for work. The teachers, building administrators, and teacher aides are so very excited about being able to offer this space to our students, and we'll be sharing out pictures and updates when they become available. We'll be writing a curriculum this summer in preparation for the new program. Our Parent Academy is going strong. On the 16th of March, Courtney Kless, our BCBA in our elementary and middle school autism programs, provided a parent training on how to build and strengthen student communication skills that was well attended. This presentation will be posted on our district website and on the special education page. On the 23rd, that's next week, on Tuesday, we're pleased to announce that we will be presenting on our summer ESY and summer enrichment programs for special education students. The announcement of this meeting will go out to parents on Friday, and this information will provide parents with the schedule and the means by which we will address student learning loss from the spring, and also how we will address extended school year and how it will be implemented this summer. It's a much looked forward to presentation every year, so we're hoping to get the word out so that parents can get all of the information that they need to make their summer plans. On the 24th, the presentation for our Parent Academy is on self-regulation, and that's part of our Preschool Parent Academy series. And on the 25th, we will be presenting to the parents from our autism program on a new data collection and parent training software program that we recently purchased. Rethink is a program that has been implemented, and it's been a real game changer for our teachers, students, and parents. Parents will be able to access their students' data in real time and be able to see behavioral and academic progress through graphs that are easily accessible. Additionally, parents will be able to access videos and parent training modules to help work on student behaviors and academics at home. Our BCBA Courtney Kless will be presenting to parents to ensure that they are able to log on and utilize this new fabulous tool that we've just purchased. Special Services now has a Twitter handle. Please follow us for information. I'm the first to admit I am not the one who is sending out all of those great pictures. We have our special education coach who sends me the tweets and the pictures for approval, and we are tweeting multiple times a day all of this great information, pictures of students in our programs in action, as well as information about our parent academies and all of the presentations. So we're very, very, very excited, and we have a lot going on in Special Services, and we have a lot to be happy about. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Anthony. I know HR is no longer committee. Is there anything you want to add to anything that I know the board received the information?
Yeah, there's nothing really to add tonight. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Walrab?
Yes.
I just wanted to say something as I, sit here, listen, take part in committee meetings. I sit here feeling so proud of where Brick is and where Brick is going. And, I've seen where we were and I see where we're at today and the progress, it's like like my mouth is on the ground. I'm so proud and so happy of all of the great things that are happening in this district. Great team that is here. I had to say it now because it's amazing. So thank you for everything, and the vision and where we're going as a district is something that we should be so proud of. I'm proud. So, pat yourselves on the back, feel the glow, feel the greatness, because we are going and heading in great places. So, bravo.
Thank you, Melita. Thank you, Melita. Okay. This will be the first opportunity for public comment and will be for agenda items only. The board invites thoughts and reactions on agenda items. Each participant is asked to give his or her name prior to making a statement. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. The board will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving employment, appointment, termination of employment, negotiations, terms, and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion, or disciplining of any specific or prospective or current employee and/or students. Do we have anyone for public comment at this time? Anyone up? We know Mr. Farrell will wait. Do you have, no? Okay. I mean, Mr. Finelli. Oh, you would, online, anyone?
Yes, I would like to give some public comment.
Sure, go ahead. State your name, please.
Agenda only.
Agenda only. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Now I can. If you have public comment on agenda, anything that's on the agenda, go right ahead. Just state your name.
Hi, my name is Mary Carrick Brown. I live at 275 Sudbury Road. I would like to give some public comment.
Okay, yes. Does it pertain to what's on the agenda, or is it something that is not on the agenda?
It's not on the agenda. Do I need to wait to the end of the meeting?
Yes, at the end of the meeting, yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any public comment on agenda items only that's online? No. Mr. Finelli, it's all yours.
Vic Finelli, if you call me Mr. Farrell, you're gonna have to give me 3 shirts. I just want that right up front.
I'm sorry.
I don't have a lot on the agenda, but
Okay, go ahead.
curriculum and instruction, item 1. It always had a brief description of what the training was. All of a sudden this week, no description. Why is that?
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Item number 2, a lot of discussion about the preschool. I just had a question about funding.
Okay, go ahead.
My understanding was that this fully funded by the state, but then thinking about it and listening to the comments, do you tell them what you want to do and then they give you the money, or do they give you the money and then you decide how you're going to use it?
Okay.
Understood that?
Yep.
And number 3, just my comments, passing on information. Human resources, number 1. You have 3 teachers leaving. They're 3 tenured teachers. Last meeting you had 2 tenured teachers leaving, and the meeting before you had 2 tenured teachers meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd ask you if you know how many years those tenures add up to, but I know you don't, so I'll tell you. It's 170 years for 7 teachers. That's the kind of thing that drives down median salaries for teachers, or it should. When those kind of people leave, I'm assuming they're up in the salary ranges, that number should be driving down. Not that when you're letting the people go on the bottom. This is what drives it down. The end of that, can you answer the first 2 questions?
Okay. Dr. Farrell, do you want to direct who you want?
Actually, I'm going to start with the 3rd question, because that's correct with the median if you're replacing those positions. If you're not replacing those positions, then the median salary would not be driven to the middle point. So if you're replacing them, like you're saying, then yes, that's exactly what would drive it down. If you're not replacing it, the median
But
is
those
still-
high salaries are still coming off the list.
They are, the middle point. I've said this last time. It's really simple. You have median salaries. As we are reducing jobs, because we're cutting jobs, the median salary moves. Even if you are retiring jobs, if we're replacing them, you are correct. If we're not replacing them, it will still move. So I got you.
You're wrong. And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
I'm not doing it.
I'll tell you why you're
No,
wrong.
Mr. Finelli,
If
Mr. Finelli,
three
I'm
of these
asking you three
teachers are
questions.
making $80,000 a year and they all leave, they come out of the
Finelli, If
average.
you ask a question, I'm going to answer.
I didn't
at
ask
my
a
time.
question, I made a
You did.
comment.
I know, but you asked three
He made a comment
questions.
on the third one, so what, Mrs. Walrab would like to move on.
I mean, I don't know why you don't understand. If you take high people out of the
C&I
average,
number
it's
one.
dropping the average down.
Excuse me, we're answering your question.
Curriculum instruction number one, we usually have a description that's on the attachment. Dr. Anderson, if you would like to, the description for the training is usually on the attachment, I believe.
It absolutely is, and I think what happened was we made a modification and added a column to number the items, and because the original that I have, the title is on it, and the attachment isn't on, the title isn't on this attachment.
So would you have that attachment posted for the minutes, and would you just give Mr. Finelli the description of that, please?
Verbally,
Is there
or
a
do you want-
specific one you want the description? It was number one, I believe.
Would you like the whole document, just to be able to take?
I'm
back
just
and-
wondering why it's always been on there, and now it's
I
not.
think it was an error.
Yeah.
It was an error. So
Yeah.
if you would like, we can give you that, you could review it. If you want to ask when you come back up again,
Is
you're
it
welcome.
going to be on next time?
It will be on next time, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then number two.
Pre-K funding, I know, and Mrs. Hanson will get into it in a lot more detail. We have a grant through the state that has an application for what you are actually applying for that grant to be funded. It is a very arduous process, I know, to do that. So why don't you touch on that grant funding for Mr. Finelli?
So what we do is we submit a one-year plan to the state, and then we tell them how many students, how many classes we're going to have, and how many students we're going to have, and we're funded based on the number of general education students. But the details of the budget are up to us. So we make a decision about how we're going to spend the money. The first couple of years of the grant, we were implementing new curriculum, which was extraordinarily expensive. We're at a point where we're not spending as much on that, so now there's a little bit of extra money. And we had some carryover funds from this year. So we're able to do some things that are required by the grant, like have appropriate playground spaces and, some outdoor classroom spaces and things like that. So the details are up to us. But we tell them how many students, and there are some restrictions on how many students are in each classroom. So a lot of that is taken up by staffing, because if you have 528 preschoolers, you have to have a certain number of teachers, a certain number of teacher aides, and a certain number of resources for those students.
So you're submitting this budget to them for their approval?
It's already been submitted to the Department of Ed, and now we're getting approval from the Board of Ed, and then I have to upload that document into the repository for the Department of Ed. But it's already been approved.
Okay, I have one specific on that, what I look at, which I don't understand. If you look at the principal of Herbertsville School, which happens to be the highest priced principal in the school district, it looks like he's only being funded at 76%.
That is correct, because we are only allowed to fund the general education portion of the grant, of the entire program through those grant funds. Anything that goes to special education, the district is required to fund through special education grants. So the principal at Herbertsville, only 76% of his time, based on the number of general education students that are in that building, is paid for through the grant, and the rest is paid for through special education and inclusion funds.
Which would be the federal grants and such. that
Which
we
would be
get.
special education grants and general
grant,
fund.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
You answered my question, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Finelli. Any other public comment on agenda items before we close? No. Okay. Dr. Anderson, I need Dr. Anderson, will you introduce curriculum and instruction? Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mrs. Walrab. Under curriculum instruction, the superintendent recommends that the board approve items 1 through 3.
I need a motion and a second.
Motion, Victoria.
Second,
Second,
Missy. Any board discussion? No? Mary?
Ms. Hafner? Mr. Blandina?
Yes.
Ms. Gagliardi?
Yes.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Bacala?
Yes.
Ms. Siebert?
Yes.
Ms. Walrab?
I have to abstain from 1 and yes to 2 and 3. Mr. Edwards.
Thank you. The superintendent recommends that the board approves items 1 through 19.
I need a motion and a second.
Motion, Nicole.
I'll second it.
Second, Victoria.
Any board discussion? Mary?
Ms. Hafner? Mr. Blandina?
Yes.
Ms. Gagliardi?
Abstain to number 6, yes to everything else.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Bacala?
Abstain, number 5, regular checks 21-06594. Yes to the rest.
Ms. Siebert?
Yes.
Ms. Walrab?
I am going to abstain from PO 30-08836. I'm sorry, excuse me, 20-08836. My eyesight is going. And 21-06594. Yes to everything else. Okay, Mr. Cranston, HR.
Thank you. Under HR, the superintendent recommends the board approve the following items 1 through 28.
I need a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Michael, and I need a second.
Melita, second.
Any board discussion? Mary?
Ms. Hafner? Mr. Blandina?
Yes.
Ms. Gagliardi?
Yes.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Bacala?
Yes.
Ms. Siebert?
Yes.
Ms. Walrab?
Yes. Public comment. This is the second opportunity for public comment. Each participant is asked to give his or her name prior to making a statement. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Comments shall be limited to 5 minutes, and each speaker may only speak once. The board will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving employment, appointment, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion or disciplining of any specific or prospective or current employee and/or students. Why don't we go to the woman that was so patient to wait to this section? If you'd like to do your public comment now, please just state your name. We don't need your address.
Hi, am I on?
Hi, we hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Mary Tara Kraus. I spoke earlier.
Yep. Go right ahead.
I live at 275 Sudbury Road. I'm speaking up for the Brick Memorial Mustangs hockey team. My student, Belle Wormser, is a sophomore at Brick Memorial and a player on the team. This season was far from typical to COVID, but most of all due to the extreme declining numbers of hockey players in our school. This season, our Brick Memorial varsity team numbers maxed out at 10 skaters and a goalie. Due to injury and schedules, COVID, most of our games were played out with just 7 or 8 skaters. With such a short bench, kids were playing at a great disadvantage. They were exhausted and unable to be competitive. Still, despite a lack of goals, only 2 winning games, our kids rallied and made the best of it. We are very proud of them for not giving up. This brings us to next year. We lose our graduating seniors, I believe it's 3 of them. And as far as we know, we do not have any new players coming in. Our team will be down to only 6 or 7 players, which clearly is not enough to make a team. We'll have no team for our kids to play. I myself have been in touch with Mr. Sarluka, Athletic Director. He has heard my concerns, but I would like to share them here as well to the Board of Education and to the Brick Township community. Our situation is not unique to just Brick Memorial. Many schools in our conference have already merged into co-op or even tri-op teams. Joining teams across the schools not only adds numbers, but creates a more competitive team. Our kids not only deserve to play, but also to be able to stand a chance at being competitive and successful while representing their school in a positive light. I think we can all agree on that. Why I'm speaking today here is because according to the New Jersey SIAA website, there's an April 15th deadline that needs to be met for application to be filled if our program is going to merge with another school. That deadline is now less than a month away and rapidly approaching. One logical option would be for our half a dozen Mustang players to join and play with Brick Township team as one united Brick team. It is my belief this would be a great benefit for our kids and for the entire district having one stronger team instead of 2 fragmented programs. I believe this would also present a cost savings since we would stay as part of the Brick District for busing, ice rental, and all the other associated fees instead of having to pay these out to another district. Finally, I would like to thank you, the Board of Ed members, for listening to my concern and for helping the Brick Mustangs hockey program to continue. Our kids just want to continue to represent Brick and play a sport that they love. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll send a copy of this statement that I've read to the Brick Board of Education after this call. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you could see us, you would see the entire board and administration nodding as you read your letter. So yes, please forward it. And I'm sure Dr. Farrell, you want to give her your contact email or?
Sure. Mary, you can email me direct. I used to serve on the state and the Shore Conference Executive Committee. Co-ops for teams are different when you want to merge within your district. What do I mean by that? The NJSIAA does not care whether someone in Brick is playing a Brick or Brick Memorial. That's a district level policy. The Shore Conference would always approve if we had students and couldn't field a team at Brick Memorial to easily play for Brick Township next year. So that deadline you're speaking about is when, for example, when I used to be at Shore Regional, we actually merged Shore Regional with Ocean Township to create a hockey team. That has to get approval through the Shore Conference first before it goes to the state. So this is not a hard thing. We guarantee if there's student athletes in our district that want to play hockey next year, we will make sure there's a venue for them. So I will also reach out with Ms. McNamara to Mr. Sarluka to follow up. I'll also contact people at the Shore Conference. But you can email me that directly, and I promise you that any students at Brick Memorial that wish to play hockey and are eligible to play hockey will be able to do so next year for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment online first before we move into the room? Any other public comment online? Okay. Yes, Mr. Sarluka, come on. Come on up. Come on up.
Getting old, I need these glasses.
Oh, I need a bigger print and my glasses, so
Well,
I feel you.
I printed on about 95 fonts, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read the letter you all got already.
Yeah,
so.
go right ahead.
To the superintendent and the board. It seems strange to me that we are here all as Americans, that we all should be treated equal and are considered such by our school system, teachers, supervisors, officials, school board members. This school system, like many others, although professing to say that we are all equal and should be treated so, does things that sometimes separate us. At a past board meeting, we heard talks of special steps being taken to hire different groups of people. This to me, although it may be done in a good intention, it's seemingly discriminatory. Parents, grandparents, and in fact the whole community in Brick and elsewhere of every skin color and sex hope that you advertise and select the most qualified person to teach our children and not the person who is less qualified but meets an arbitrary skin color, sex, or orientation. I know we hear that a child may learn better. We hear that from people saying that from a teacher that looks like he or she does, but that strikes me almost as foolhardy and discriminatory. If my child was Greek, would you then hire a Greek teacher? If my child was Kenyan, would you hire a Kenyan teacher? If my child was Korean, would you hire a Korean teacher? And if my child was Italian, would you hire an Italian teacher? To me, that makes no sense. Are we all not Americans, and shouldn't we be treated as such? Martin Luther King Jr. said he had a dream that one day little black boys and little black girls could walk hand in hand with little white boys and little white girls as sisters and brothers. But we today in this country, in many areas of this country, seem to try to find ways of separating us through special treatments, specific laws, selective tests that are designed to give people a sense of inferiority and lower status. It's time to step up and away from what may appear to be some sort of ill-conceived discriminatory practice, and let us be one, not Jewish, not black, not female, not white, not Christian, not black, but truly Americans, one and all. I believe in a philosophy that we should all be judged by the character, or by our own character, and not the color of our skin, whether that be black, white, yellow, brown, and even orange. And we should be not judged by our sex, whether we are male, female, or any sexual orientation, which paraphrases Martin Luther King Jr. as well. In general, I believe that our teachers have been outstanding in Brick over the many years, and why would we go out of our way to hire people, just hire the people who are most knowledgeable, dedicated, and committed in these special programs? I hope Americans, whether they be of different skin color, different heritage, different sex, or orientation, judge me by my character, not by any of these variations of physical appearance. And I truly hope to God that I judge everyone by what I profess. And I hope the school administration, the board, and everyone else in leadership does the same. That's my letter. Well, one quick question while I'm here. The schools are now being open. Obviously, they started opening 5 days a week this week, I believe, for the,
Yes.
Shouldn't the award ceremonies like this hockey club, the bowling club, the basketball club, and every other thing now be allowed to have, ceremonies that they normally have outside? A lot of times they have it outside and in restaurants and stuff. Shouldn't that happen immediately and not wait for months for it to happen? Okay, thank you.
I could add to that.
Yeah,
Thank you,
why
Mr.
don't you-
Sloop.
yeah, why don't you
The
go?
only thing with that, I think tomorrow is the 19th, the governor's indoor capacity, right, change
Yeah.
the restaurant. So that's number one. So
Right.
that's why we are kind of waiting. We want to have all those ceremonies, recognize our students within reason, right? Because you got to plan it, you got to see the venue, you got to have the weather. So we're all on the same page with that, and we are working towards that. I just want to go back to your letter for 1 second because it is important. First of all, we hire the best candidates here at Brick, and as long as I am here, because at the end of the day, the chief school administrator makes really all personnel decisions with the board. But we hire the best candidates. We've been talking about trying to make our process more inclusive. That is all. Because the state, because we are publicly funded, does look at things like disproportionality when they look at data. That's all it is. So we look at being inclusive in our process to attract more candidates to have a larger pool. That is simply it. And I want to remind everybody, and I know I hear this all the time from our special education department and our curriculum instruction, equal is not equity. I want everybody to understand that because everything is different with that. But we hire the best candidates, and that's very important to say because I did not say that last month. So thank you.
Yeah, it's basically just making sure that every avenue that we can use to make sure that we're including and everyone gets our information is being used, and just looking at that again. That's all he meant to, yeah. So, exactly. So, we're on the same. Any other public comment? Yep, Mr. Finelli, go right ahead.
A couple of lengthy questions. Now that the federal government has mandated that you have to administer the student assessment test this year, how and when are you going to do that, and what do you expect for the results? By the way, these aren't all my questions. Some people ask me to ask them. Number two, I won't tell you which is which. Number two, how do you pick which committees school board members are on and which committees they get to chair, and do they have to have any experience in those categories? And number three has to do with COVID. What percentage of the school employees have been vaccinated? And we'll just stick with one shot for now. Are COVID vaccinations going to be mandatory? And the third question is, what happens to the people that are not willing to come back, or is everybody willing to come back?
And people being staff is what you're talking about, or students? What are you talking about, people coming back? What are
Well,
clarify.
I'm not sure which town. It's either Maywood or Maplewood.
Okay.
I get too confused. A judge had a rule this week that the teachers have to go back to work. Students have to go back to school. They had to mandate it because the teachers wouldn't go. Safe Supreme Court judge. So my question is, do we have that problem here, or is everybody willing to come back? If they're not willing to come back, what's going to happen to them?
Okay. Is that all your are they all your questions, or are you more?
Well, those are the three questions, and then I have one other comment.
Okay.
I'll save the comment until you have to answer the questions.
So the mandated student assessment, so everybody needs to know the federal government still wants the state testing, or our standardized testing to occur. New Jersey is one of almost all the states that have submitted for a waiver for that, meaning to not have the testing. The federal government, as I was told as recently as last week from Superintendent's Association, is they want this data not to count whether it's for teacher evaluations or for performance indicators, but because they need the assessment of data for what they're calling learning delays. I've been calling it learning losses. Let's call it what it is. There is a learning loss through this pandemic. I joked, I think a couple months ago, if I had my losses on my coaching record called delays, I would look a lot better. But the federal government calls it learning delays, and they want to assess that data. New Jersey is appealing this waiver system as we have. My gut in talking to superintendents, we're going to have a standardized assessment this spring. We have the dates lined up. My feeling is this, and this is Dr. Farrell speaking right now. My feeling is that the first thing we're going to do when kids are, say, back in 5 days soon, is we're going to put them and test them instead of help build that interpersonal relationship between teacher and student and their kids. So we're going to assess them. The other thing is, we know what the data is going to show, right? We really do. We're going to see, we know a couple of things so far because there's 3 studies out there already, one from Stanford. We know that there's a huge learning loss. I thought it would be early childhood literacy, but the first numbers in are showing that literacy has actually stayed the same, as improved on the lower level. They're reading more at home. It was 7th grade math, I think, was the bigger indicator. The point is we look at a growth model when we look at assessment data. The last time we had testing was 2019. So we can't compare, even this testing coming up in the spring, we get it. It's going to be very hard to compare cohorts, right, the same N number, to 2019 and to other districts. So, my feeling is that, this testing is not a great idea, but I do think the federal government is going to stick with their mandate because there's money attached to it, and they all want that data because they want to really look at the data as a learning loss data. So we have dates scheduled for what month? I think we opened it.
Yes, Dr. Farrell, we had scheduled dates based upon the New Jersey Department of Education's projection that they were going to delay until April 5th. They came out just yesterday with a new delay date for the New Jersey learning assessments for English language arts, math, and science, and they've moved that to May. However, the DLM and the access testing will take place in April. So we'll be adjusting our schedules, but we will be testing at all levels.
And there's a couple other things, just so you know. We have to assess those students that are virtual. We can't do the environment. So there's a lot of implications that are not, we haven't really got pretty good guidance.
So is it going to be April or May?
The state hasn't given us the guidance on that, Mr. Phil. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the article I read is the state is giving you the leeway to do it whenever you want. And however you want, including if you want to do it during the summertime.
So I don't have that guidance at all.
We do not. The testing schedule that came out yesterday indicates that we can begin access testing and DLM testing on April 5th. We're obviously on spring break at that time, so we will adjust that schedule for when we return. The NJSLA testing for science, math, and language arts needs to take place starting May 5th, and it needs to end by June 21st, I believe, but I would need to double check that date.
And again, you know, there's still slight possibility the waiver may get granted. I know there are some superintendents locally that think that's going to happen. I don't. I think we're going to be testing in the spring sometime. I did not have that schedule yet.
Has this been communicated to the parents that the kids are going to be tested pretty quick?
Because it's not a definite yet. I just said that the state has submitted for a waiver from the State Department of Education. They submitted to the federal government for a waiver of testing.
And the reason being?
That they believe that bringing students back, there are schools that don't even have them back, bringing them back to sit and take standardized testing is not productive since the last testing was 2019. And that you can look at the commissioner online. The commissioner put a whole point out. Again, my gut, listen to other superintendents, is the federal government's not going to grant the waiver to New Jersey.
My gut,
but I'm not going to make action. I'm not going to take any action, set schedules, or notify parents until I get guidance from remember, we're under the auspice of the New Jersey Department of Education. Before I get to your second question, because I'm going to leave that for Mrs. Walrab on the committees, but the COVID. So COVID vaccinations, it is not mandatory for staff. General numbers, surveys, I want to say, was it 15% that were not requesting in general vaccines, another 15 to 20% of the staff that already got it or have a scheduled appointment on their own. And so it was about 70% that were interested in us helping them, and we sent those names and contacts infos to the three venues I told you in my comments, which was Ocean Medical Center here in Brick, the Ocean County Health Department, and through our self-insured Integrity Health Partnership. All because the governor moved up that to March 15th and granted that. Some districts are way ahead of that in Monmouth County and able to get their staff vaccinated. We've been working pretty diligently here in Ocean County with limited supplies to get our staff in the queue, and I'm pretty proud of that. Our staff is back. I know you asked, you know, what do you do if they don't come back? Our staff is back. Remember September 1, I told you a little more than 95% of our staff came outside of leaves, medical leaves, and accommodations for 504. The districts you're talking about have not even been back in person. Remember, we've been not only in a hybrid in person, now we're at 4 days and going to 5 days after spring break. We've been saying all along, not only through our HR department, but through central office, we do look at each medical occurrence of staff on a case-by-case basis. The job may not be able to function remote, right? Teacher is very different than a support personnel or a child study team member or something else, or a secretary. B, each accommodation, whether it's medical or leave, you know, has legal ramifications as well that we check with not only our board attorney, but through the DOE. So I'm not worried at all. Our staff is coming.
That's good to hear.
They're back. Yeah.
Just for your information about the vaccines, almost a month ago, right after the medical group, which was 1A, was allowed to be, the next group that was going to be was 1B, that the people over 75. The governor went right past that. Never even opened that up, just said anybody 65 or over, anybody with any of 24 medical problems, anybody that's obese, by the way, define obese, body mass, pounds over, whatever, and then included smokers. Well, he just included half the state, and that's why nobody can get a vaccine, right? So probably half your teachers fed into one of those categories, and
Mr.
they could have been getting their vaccinations.
Finelli,
Board committees, 'cause you're the
let me answer your board committees, since we're getting long on time, and we have our first 5-day. I'm going to let you make your comment,
We sat here for an hour and a half and watched presentations.
and that was part of our agenda. So, okay, as far as committees go, I can't speak to how they did it in the past, but what I do is I talk to each board member, especially as we had just recently 2 new board members, and I ask them what committees interest them, what are they looking to do, where would they like to serve, those sorts of things. I have tried to move around the committees a little bit because I think it's important that every board member gets some sort of experience with the different committees. I think with the exception of Melita being moved to finance, as far as all of our chairs have experience on the committees that they're serving on. But as far as that goes, I sit on the finance committee too, and what we did with our new board members and on facilities and on the CNI, I know that they also did this because Dr. Farrell was there. What we do is in the beginning of the meeting, we talk about what is accomplished during the finance or the facilities meeting. Jim gives them a long introduction into what different things are, vendors, how we go, we kind of go through all that. So we educate them. And we always, during our meeting, everybody gets the agenda. We go through agenda items.
No.
Board members or committee members ask questions, and they always ask at the end.
Kind of going off the subject.
Oh, you
All I wanted to know is how people get assigned to the committees.
They
and make-
request. They request if they would like to be on something, they request. If I have an opening or someone says, I'd really like to do this, then I call, if the committee has 3 people on it, I call and say, would anybody be interested in swapping? In a lot of cases, they do. They work well together.
Okay, the second part of that question was, do those people have experience on the ones they request before they got on the school board? And I'll be right up front. This is why I looked at it, and this is why I'm asking. I wanted to see who negotiated the teacher's contract. So I looked at the committees, and I see who negotiated the teacher's contract. And as I'm looking at this, I noticed that there are 14 different committees. There are 7 school board members.
Right.
One person chairs 5 committees and is on 5 other committees, 10 total, and is on every one of the contract negotiation things. So my question is, do any of you people have any experience negotiating for contracts prior to being on the school board?
Yes.
You do?
No, prior to being on the school board or while we were on the school board, because I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Victoria. She sits on D1 because she specifically went to school board training on that, which is why she is on those committees.
She's on all of them.
Because she's requested it, and there were openings on it, and she's gone to training, and I mean, if they asked to be on all of them too, if somebody wanted something else, I would try to accommodate as best I can. She's not pushing anybody else off.
Okay. Answer my question.
I mean,
Here's my last comment, and it's a comment. If you want to respond to it, be my guest.
Okay, good.
Right? In the continuing saga of looking at median salaries, I said, well, let me take it a step further and see if I'm off track. So I went up the next level, and I looked at principals, superintendents, administrators, blah, blah, blah. Where do they fit in? Because the natural progression is, if people are moving up in the school district, they're going to move up into administrative jobs. If you remember correctly, this mic sounds like it's going on and off. The teachers who are in the top third in the state in median salaries, administrators are in the top quarter of the state, the top 25%. So we pay our people very well compared to everybody else, for whatever the reason. And my concern is, and I'll talk about this when you get into the budget part of the meeting, the superintendent keeps bringing up that the money we're getting cut, that you're going to have to raise assessment on the citizens, a tax assessment, the maximum 2%. Now, for the foreseeable future, maybe not even in my lifetime will it stop. Yet, we were able to come up with enough money to give out a 13.5% pay raise, and before you tell me it was only 12.9, the math comes out to 13.5 because it's compounded on a bigger number. So from year 1 to year 4, everybody got a 13.5% pay raise. Teachers, everybody else is going to want the same thing. The $2 million that you have isn't even going to cover the raises that you gave out, so you're going to be letting people go. You made a decision, people made a decision, you negotiated and you made a decision that your action is going to cause you to lay off more people. I personally don't understand that, but that's just me.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
So the report, you're talking about the median with the administrators. It's my turn to comment, Mr. Finelli. You can sit down. I'm gonna read it to you because I know the report you're talking, the top 25%. Just happen to have it here. Median administrators, principals, and administrators. Brick Township was 152 out of 655 with a median average of 135,000. However, Brick Township from the previous year decreased the percentage increase of administrative salaries by minus 2.25% total. Decrease. So I want to share that information. So when you bring out information that says they're in the top quarter, overall administrator salaries across the state have decreased. The top 25, because we're ranked there, is still minus 2.25% when they rank it by percentage increase from the previous year. Brick in Ocean County on that is down in the top 10 as well.
I got them all here if you want to hear them.
No, your 5 minutes is up. I'm just going to allow him to comment.
Thank you.
I have them.
No, I have it. Your 5
Jackson,
minutes.
Manasquan, Point Pleasant, but I have them all. My point is, they are in the top 25%.
Wait. Okay, your 5 minutes is up. He wanted to respond.
I just wanted to respond about the report.
So,
Before you talked also about median salaries and then said the average should go down. Median and average are two different things. I agree the average should go down. The median when people are taken off the queue, when they're not replaced. You talked about average. You also talked about a report where administrators in Brick are ranked higher, but it was a decrease from the previous year in percentage. That actually went down. The last thing I need to make clear to everybody, we are mandated the 2%. Am I correct? Under local fair share and under adequacy, we are mandated to take our tax levy and increase it 2% as far as being under S2 and under our local fair share. Those are just facts. Those are just facts. So we don't have the option.
I didn't contest that.
Mr. Finelli, Dr.
He's
Farrell.
talking, what, I can't respond to him?
No, this is not a conversation. This is him responding to your comment. You're done. It was 5 minutes. He's responding. I'm ending the session if there's no other public comment, and then we're moving on to board comment.
Maybe it'd be nice if the school board decided they'd like to have some conversation with people. Maybe conversation would be a good thing, and you get some people to come to your meeting.
Mr. Finelli, the meetings are open to everybody. You're not the only one we have to have a conversation with.
I'd like to just expand myself for a couple comments, because what happens is, unfortunately, is information comes out here and it's not put in correct context. So just to give you an example, there's 10 K-12 public school districts in Ocean County, similar to us. Out of the 10, if you took the average property assessment from 2020 across the board, Brick's average property assessment is $297,078 with property taxes averaging about $6,819. Of that, the school taxes are $3,297, which is the second lowest in the county as school taxes. That makes up 48.4% of the total property taxes, which is the third lowest. Our comparative cost per pupil, which is $15,101, is third lowest. The comparative cost per pupil does not take into account things like total debt service. So where Toms River, actually a local town, had a huge referendum a few years ago, they take their cost per pupil, if you took it Mr. Finelli's way, which I also do, you just take the budget, that only means the expense they're making out on a payment for that debt service, not that liability on their books. But I did it both ways, because you made me think and reflect, Mr. Finelli. Our comparative cost per pupil is 15,101, third lowest. Our average cost per pupil at 18,233 is also third lowest. So just a combination. So Brick is lower in property assessment in the state and in the county. Its total property taxes is lower than the state and the county. Its school taxes are lower than the state average of $4,800 and the county of $3,736. And it's lower in percentage. The state average school taxes is 52.7%. The Ocean County is 54.3%. Here in Brick, it's 48.4% with the mandated. We need to put more money in the classrooms, not take money away. And we are doing it as fiscally sound as possible, and this board should be commended over the last 3 years with capital improvements being budgeted, Mr. Edwards and their business department utilizing budgetary and fiscal mechanism in lieu of only being able to go up 2% with a property tax while state aid is diminishing. There's no other avenue for us but cutting jobs. And by the way, over the last 3 years, 150 positions have been cut. Last year, we cut 50 positions and reallocated, thank God, through a preschool grant, 24 to save positions and had almost 30 retirements. We ended up losing 3 actual people at the end of the day, which was a savior. This year, we're looking again at cutting a lot of positions, and hopefully retirements will meet that cut. It's not changing, and we don't have the availability to do anything on the revenue side to increase those taxes. But when I look at a return on investment from a taxpayer standpoint, which is important, I'm a taxpayer too in Toms River, and I look at a return on investment and see where Brick ranks, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and it's going to get better. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. Okay, so is there any other public comment before I close public comment? Hearing none, or closing public comment. I'm going to start where we added a board comment because over the last, a board president comment, because over the last month, I've been attending a lot of seminars. I've been online. I've attended probably 4 presidents' meetings throughout the state. I've attended several county meetings. I've attended a bunch of webinars, and I wanted to go into this long thing. We ran a little long with the presentation. That was important. Basically, what I'm doing is the legislative meetings that I've been attending, I have notes together. I was going to report out on it today. What I'll do is I'm going to share it with you guys all. There are slides and things that are attached to it. Some really good stuff. I steam a lot of the stuff I've shared with Dr. Farrell, and he's been sharing it with administration, some professional development that's out there free that our teachers can take advantage of that Dr. Farrell has been sharing, with C&I, and it's been getting out. The legislative updates, both federally, both on the federal side and on the state side, I've sat in on 2 of them just last week and again yesterday. I sat in on an arts update on arts programs, which I did share with Daisy and asked her to please follow up with that as far as arts funding, ensuring that we don't lose that and reach out to some of our legislators. So it's been a really busy month, and what I'll do is next time when we don't have such long programs, I'll go into a little bit more detail. And I think what we're really waiting on is the governor to kind of make some decisions. So I think, there's so many things that are out there still holding that I think by next month we'll have a better handle on where we are. But is there any other board comment? Yes, Nicole.
So I want to start off by saying I am so excited for seeing all the back to school posts this week on social media, not just for Brick and us going back into the 4 days a week, but all across the state, like first day of school pictures, everyone's excited, the kids are excited. I love seeing that excitement, putting them back in class. I am very excited since one of my children will be going back tomorrow 5 days. She's so excited. And I love that we're giving them that opportunity to slowly move in. In a couple weeks, we're gonna have a lot of happy elementary parents, myself included. I've tried to drop my kid off at your house. Dr. Farrell said, no, I can't do that. But I also want to look at it from a different perspective. I know as parents, I work, I serve on the board, I have a 9-to-5 job, kids walking in my Zoom calls, constant interruptions. As much as the past year has been so stressful, I love the opportunity this year to actually participate in my child's learning. Yes, do we see the homework that comes home? Do I get the, I did math, I did reading, I had recess, I had snack, and I came home. That's my, we have the same conversation every day. But to actually work through things and see what they're working on, to work hand in hand. The teachers have been fantastic. They have been so open, so approachable, alternative methods. I love that. Yes, I'm the first one to complain. I'm overworked, my gray hairs are coming out, I'm exhausted, the house is a disaster, but I love it. And yes, do I have special education children that, do require a little bit more? Yes, but to be a part of that and to see the process and to see how the next part of this is the kudos to the kids. I don't think we give them enough kudos throughout this pandemic. I have watched my children, I would have melted, but they've done like a 180. They've jumped into different ways of learning, going into a virtual environment in physical therapy, occupational therapy, to going back to school. It had its hiccups, but as we're moving, more and more, they're so excited to go back. They're so excited to see their friends in, so many days a week. And I do. I must appreciate that I actually had an opportunity this year to work and take care of my kids and help educate them. Again, yeah, I complained more than anybody, but it still is nice to see. And it's nice to see the progress. I do see the photos that come home, but, giving my kid their homework, I don't know how to teach them how to do touch math. And I put it in front of my child, and she's like, okay, it's this, this. I'm like, whoa. You are me. So we also need to give kudos to the kids. But again, to wrap that up, the administration, thank you, because I have watched so many districts go fully remote within a couple of days, and we've managed to keep our children in schools since September. They're exactly where they need to be. They need to be with you experts, because I am the worst teacher on the planet. I fully admit that. I even put that on my review for work. I am not meant to be a teacher. But thank you. Thank you guys for everything that you've done to give our kids the opportunity to learn in the safest environment as possible, at the pace we need and everything. I could go on for hours, but
Yes, we know you couldn't.
I will end on that. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Missy, I forgot to mention, would you mind just talking about the conference call we sat on for Save Our Schools, just briefly, would you? I forgot to mention that.
Yes, yeah, it was yesterday.
It was 2 days ago.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, we sat on a conference call regarding the SOS, regaining steam again. We will be doing a call to action, a blast email will be going out. We really are encouraging parents, community members to get involved. There will be a form letter that will go out.
You and I'm drafting it. I'm going to send it to you. You're going to
right. We want to get it out to the
to
PTAs and the PTOs and everyone in the committee and the community rather, just to really get involved. We'll have phone numbers and emails and just hit them hard and hit them fast. So it was very interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was.
And it was basically a bunch of other board presidents and members, depending on who could attend. It was a good turnout, and they sent us all this stuff. But it's very specific to districts, because the people that you have on the call, so, when the one woman was like, "We're losing 100,000," I was like, "Oh."
They were like
God.
a 2 square mile town with
So, which is rough for them, but when you're looking at our numbers, obviously, Missy and I are going to work on tailoring it a little bit with the information that we had from being PTA mom and still being on the board and having gone out and done this before, and then we're going to pass it to Dr. Farrell and Ms. Mack to finalize, make sure we're tight, and approve it to go out to distribution to our PTA liaison, Ms. Kennedy. But thank you. I forgot. That was a very important thing that I know our parents ask a lot about. Was there anything else that we have to?
I had a quick comment. Of course, it's on my phone, and I have to unlock it. I just wanted to acknowledge Jen Lane and her team for the visual arts this year. You know, it's a family favorite in my house, the art show, and you could just see how much work and dedication and love went into that. And it was really great to see that the kids were still able to show their creativity and their talent and their passion for performing arts, visual arts across the board. It was just really, the website alone was amazing. Just, you could tell how much time and effort went into that, and I thought that was something that should be acknowledged. And lastly, I just wanted to wish Dr. Farrell a very happy anniversary. Thank you for sticking around. We really appreciate you. You know, your leadership and enthusiasm is contagious, and I hope you wear that shirt with as much pride as it was given to you. So, thank you.
Michael, do you have?
Yeah.
Go right ahead, Michael.
Just a couple of things here tonight. I first of all like to compliment the presentations. You know, I've seen a couple of presentations now. Tonight we're looking at the Lake Riviera and the Veterans Middle Schools there, and phenomenal job. Thank you, Mrs. McNamara, for that, and the effort of the teachers and the students. You could see the enthusiasm Missy was talking about, even in that presentation night. So I want to compliment, and I think we got to continue that kind of stuff with everything we can, because I think it's important for the children to do things like that. Secondly, the team effort, I think here is super. Between the central administration, the board, and our teachers and the parents. I think everything is open here, and you just want to tell as much information as you can, and I thank you for that, because I've learned, brought up to speed really fast with stuff that I didn't know about. It's funny because Stephanie and I talked yesterday, I says, some of the stuff we were talking about when I went to school here, now it's finally moving. But that was 40 years ago. We're going to be having a 40 reunion in 2 years from now, next year, actually. And I saw some of the stuff, and I'm like, wow, they're finally moving on it? And it's the truth, so I compliment you on that. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate you on your anniversary here, Dr. Farrow, and many, many more. We need you to stay around. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Daisy?
I love the middle school presentation. Elementary school is usually the biggest one. Fantastic, in the high school, they just have so many more clubs. This really needs a very happy plan. And you may not know this about and they fit her salary in our school. So she came home to tell me. So you visited her classroom and she was very impressed. And she asked me why I didn't tell her in advance. I don't have that information. Inside information. And obviously I'm always the crier on the board, so of course that video, hashtag it's been a year, made me cry many, many times. Lovely, lovely tribute, and every single person who has a hand. So, happy 1-year work anniversary to Dr. Farrell. Board member, parent, and a resident, it was great to have. Some hires as well, so. Good luck to the new season that is just starting.
Yep.
As a reminder, you can watch a lot of these sports online now, so I think that's a phenomenal thing that did come out of the pandemic. Most things were horrible. And just keep an eye out for upcoming plays and concerts. They also can be viewed online. So same thing I was gonna say about the district art festival. I love the arts, I love everything about it, and I was so worried that we wouldn't be able to that I can't begin to imagine.
Let me just add on the District Art Festival, because I went last year in person as well, and the students and the staff were so disappointed, like after it's done physically.
Yeah.
Now it's memorialized on
Yeah,
our
I like
website,
that.
and we're gonna keep doing that even when we go back in person, because, you know, I sat at home with my wife, we were going through some of her own students at Drum Point and some other students' arts right online. It was kind of neat. You're sitting there, and some of the digital arts, graphics arts from the high schools were just amazing, but it's all loaded, and that's the great thing kind of with the technology. It's there, memorialized for all of us.
Games because our
We have the cutest kids. I mean, we just do. Our kids are the cutest kids. Melita?
Yes. It's been a year, and this year brought a lot of hardships for many individuals. It is said that during the valleys or during those times, we learn some of life's greatest lessons, and I feel as if the lessons that we have all learned personally, professionally. I'm going out too, Mr. Finelli. It's not just you, so don't take it personally. I'm going out too. The mic. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, let's get back. So as I was saying, you know, the year of hardships, we've all grown, and I can see that our district, from our teachers to our students, to our bus drivers, to our support staff, everyone in Brick Township Public Schools has really shown and displayed resilience during this year. The hardship has brought out some of the best qualities in so many people in Brick Township, and I am so proud of that, because when we're on the mountaintop, you know, we're just sitting there relaxing. We don't, you know, grow as people. But when we go to the valley and when we feel those hard times, we grow and we learn. So I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for this team, because the hardship brought out the best in each and every one of you sitting around this table. It brought out the best in our community. Brick Strong, thank you. 1 year of resilience. We can do it. I am so proud of where we're going and where we're headed. That's it.
We're
Woo! Yes!
Yeah, Melita for governor.
We are climbing up that mountain. We might not be at the top, but we are climbing. Yes.
I want some of your energy. I got Victoria, are you still with us? Do you have any comments?
Steph, are you talking to me?
Yes. Would you like to say anything, Victoria?
There's a little bit of feedback.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I'll say my kudos for Dr. Farrell, but I do want to say that one of the most enjoyable things I do to represent the Brick Board of Education is attend the Brick Township Green Team meetings. And this month, the Brick Green Team has decided that they will participate with Clean Ocean Action Spring Beach Sweeps on April 17th on 2021, Saturday, 9th noon at Brick 1, Brick 3, and Windward Beach. And I think it's a great opportunity for our kids to get out and get some fresh air. They'll be socially distanced, they'll learn, their supplies and guidance will be available for them. And I just think anytime that they could get out and do something for themselves and the community is a great opportunity. So that is Saturday, April 17th.
Okay, Victoria, could you just make sure that
In
Dr.
addition,
Farrell
I'd
gets
like
it?
to just say, Dr. Farrell, you know, you came in here, Dr. Farrell, you came in, and I know that there was some hesitancy as to how much you could dominate this district, and I'm joking now, and how much you would be able to right the ship and handle the pandemic all at the same time. And kudos to you. You did a marvelous job. Thank you. I look forward to the next year.
Thank you. Victoria, just could you please make sure that the Dr. Farrell gets the information on the event in April 17th? You have it? Okay, good, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that we're able to put it on the website or something so that parents are aware. Okay, that brings us to the end of our board comment. April 2nd through April 9th is spring recess. Schools will be closed. April 29th is our public hearing on the 2021-2022 budget and regular meeting at 7 p.m. We're here, right? Yeah, we're here. I need a motion.
Steph, you're muted. I can't hear you.
I'm not muted. I need a motion and a second to end. Motion, Melita. Second, Missy. Mary?
Ms. Hafner? Yes. Mr. Blandina?
Yes.
Ms. Gagliardi?
Yes.
Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Pacala?
Yes.
Ms. Siebert?
Yes.
Ms. Walrath?
Yes. Everybody have a great night. Thank you.